and welcome to Razz Reviews. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Dumbo. Dumbo is the latest Disney remake of their animated classics, but this time it's brought to us by Tim Burton. And it follows the story of a peculiar circus elephant, Dumbo, and his oversized ears that give him the ability to fly. And it also focuses on a lot of human characters that are involved for some reason. Going into this movie, I knew that it's either going to be a hit or a miss, because many of the Disney remakes have been a hit or a miss for me. Some worked very well for me, like The Jungle Book, and others didn't, like Maleficent and Beauty and the Beast. And I also wasn't sure what kind of Tim Burton I was going to get. Am I gonna get my beloved Edward Scissorhands and Big Fish Tim Burton, or am I gonna get Alice in Wonderland Tim Burton? And unfortunately, I got the guy that brought me Johnny Depp dancing in a funny hat. Look, I really wanted to like this movie. Unfortunately, I didn't. And I feel really guilty because I keep imagining Dumbo's cute face staring at me and making me feel bad about it. Stop looking at me like that. I'm sorry. Because that's the thing. Dumbo is the best thing about this movie. He's adorable. He's very cute. The CGI on Dumbo was great. And you know how I feel about bad CGI with animals. But Dumbo is very peculiar. He has his own look. He doesn't look like a real elephant, but he also has an elephant's body and features, but he has this like cute, adorable little face. I also liked how his ears looked. They looked really cool and they looked realistic even though they're oversized. So yeah, Dumbo is actually really good in the movie and his scenes are really great. All his moments are actually great for me. And for a movie named Dumbo, I guess that's a good thing. You want the title character to work, and Dumbo here worked for me a lot. I also really liked the setting. I thought the production design was beautiful. Tim Burton brought his usual visual flair to the film. It's always unique and it's always very interesting, and there's something magical about it that worked for me and works a lot for the Dumbo storyline. I like the characters in the circus. I thought they were very interesting as a group, as a unit, and I enjoyed them very much. They were led by Danny DeVito, and I actually really like Danny DeVito in this film, as I like him in most films. But I don't know what it is about Danny DeVito and Tim Burton, why he always has to put him in a circus. I think this is like the third time he does it, like in Batman, Big Fish, and now in Dumbo. So the circus was cool, the characters in the circus was cool, Dumbo was cool, his relationship with his mom, emotional, crying like a baby, all of that is there. However, for some reason, we don't actually spend enough time in the circus, and that's where my big issues with the film begin. They begin with the story. The original 1941 Dumbo was actually very short. It was like an hour and 10 minutes or so. So I understood that the movie kind of needed to add a lot to this film in order to make it a feature-length film that could work in this day and age. So I assumed they're just gonna add elements and sort of amplify what already existed. But unfortunately, that's not what happened here. The movie expands the story so much and goes forward that this doesn't feel like a Dumbo remake, it kind of feels like a Dumbo sequel. And not a very good one, too. The familiar elements of Dumbo are all present, especially in Act 1. And Act 1 for me is the best part of the film. However, later on, the movie just kind of gets blown up in a very over-the-top, crazy kind of way. From the moment Michael Keaton is introduced onwards, it becomes a different film. It becomes overstretched, and it kind of gets out of hand. The characters are weird. The plot is messy, things are over the top for no reason, it just completely derails. And one of my main issues is with the humans. I don't like it when human characters are forced into a story where they don't belong. I call this the Transformers paradox. In the original Dumbo, one of the best things about it was the relationship between Dumbo and his best friend Timothy the Mouse. Timothy the Mouse isn't even here. There are no animals or interactions or characters for the animals. It's just Dumbo and his mom. And otherwise, we're focusing on these humans for some reason. Why? And they're really uninteresting. Colin Farrell is here. He tries his best with an accent. But his character is, Eva Green is there, and she's a poor man's Helen Bonham Carter. And the kids are kind of annoying, especially the little girl, and she is, sorry, not a good actress. There's a lot of bad acting actually in this film. Not a lot of performances worked for me. Even Michael Keaton, who I usually love. But here he felt like a schizophrenic mess between a Johnny Depp impression, Beetlejuice, and some sort of southern suave. It didn't make any sense. It was just weird and over the top. Even the score fell flat for me. It's a Danny Elfman score, but it didn't feel even original or organic to the story. It felt kind of like a remix of the Edward Scissorhands soundtrack. It's just it didn't work. Everything felt stitched together in a way that didn't really work well, didn't flow well. It just felt forced and stretched and messy. There were things in there that didn't make sense at all. There were things that were kind of unbelievable. The rules of physics and science and reality are thrown out the window. At the end of the day, this movie is definitely for children. Not kids, children, young children. They're gonna love it. But I don't think the parents or most parents would. So for me, this movie doesn't work as a film for all ages. And I don't think that it wasn't possible to make Dumbo suitable for all ages. They've already done it with The Jungle Book. The characters were the animals. We focused on the animals. Just make them talk. Give them character dimensions and relationships. You've done it. It's a Disney movie. Why did we focus on humans and their drama and the circus and the show business? Even Alan Arkin shows up at some point and you're like, what is he even doing here? It just didn't make any sense. So if you're a parent and you have young children, you can take them to Dumbo. They'll probably enjoy it. I'm not sure if you will. You might. If you're a Disney Puritan or a fan of the original Dumbo, you might enjoy some of the callbacks here to the original film, but also you might not like the diversion away from the original film. I personally didn't really enjoy Dumbo. I wish I liked it more, but a lot of it didn't work for me. Dumbo worked for me, but everything else around him kind of fell flat. So for that reason, I'm gonna give Dumbo a 5.5 out of 10. Stop looking at me like that, Dumbo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, have you seen Dumbo? Am I crazy for not liking it? Let me know in the comment section. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to ask me what you'd like me to review for you next. See ya.